Hello, everyone. My name is Megan Owen, and I am the owner of the restaurant called Family to Family. I am here with you today to kind of go over our accounting books for the business. So I will hold up some of these sheets and hopefully you guys can see them fairly well. These are the T accounts for which our debits and credits are being placed. This is all the information for month number 1. Hopefully you guys can kind of see it. This page is the what happened through the accounting process, like how it was affected. This is called the accounting equation. So with this, I'm trying to rearrange to have better lighting so you can see what we're talking about here. So with this is the whole skin and bones of the business, basically, the what happened. And on here you can see where I made a mistake, but I was able to catch my error and get it fixed. So as best as you guys can see it. The next one I have here, this is the debits and credits throughout the business. These I will actually read to you. So on here for July 1st, we debited cash $80,000, credited M.Owen Capital $80,000. I won't say the rest of the month name until we get to the new month. So on the 2nd, debit cash $50,000, credited catering service fees $50,000. Also on the 2nd, we debited stove $60,000, credited AP, Cisco for $60,000. The 3rd, debited food supplies $8,000, credited AP, Tuttle Farms $8,000. On the 5th, debited dining supplies $800, credited AP, Cisco $800. On the 7th, debited cash $35,000, credited dining service fees $35,000. On the 10th, we debited Sam's Butcher Shop $10,000 and credited cash $10,000. On the 14th, we debited cash $30,000, credited dining fees $30,000. 16th, debited food supplies $8,000, credited Tuttle's Farm, AP, Tuttle's Farm $8,000. On the 17th, we debited our wages expense $10,000, credited cash $10,000. On the 21st, debited cash $80,000, credited catering service fees $80,000. 22nd, debited Sam's Butcher Shop $15,000, credited cash $15,000. On the 23rd, we debited wages expense $8,000, credited cash $8,000. 28th, debited cash $30,000 and credited dining service fees for $30,000. On the 30th, we debited wages expense $10,000 and credited cash $10,000. 31st, debit AP, Tuttle Farms $16,000, credited cash $16,000. We actually paid off our accounts payable expense with this transaction. On the 31st, debited phone expense for $1,000, credited cash for $1,000. Also on the 31st, debited AP, Cisco $800 and credited cash for $800. We paid off this accounts payable account for the dining equipment that we bought on account from them for $800. Also on the 31st, M.Owen, drawing for $1,000 and credited cash for $1,000. This one means that the owner of the business took out $1,000 for either personal use or, I don't know, skiing trip or whatever. Whatever the owner wanted to do, they took $1,000 from the business on the 31st. That's what that account means. Okay, moving on. On this form here, we did the calculated the depreciation cost. I'm sorry, this lighting is terrible. I don't know if you can kind of see it. I'm trying as best as I can. Maybe if we turn completely into the light, we can try that. Maybe that makes it a little bit better, maybe a little bit worse. I don't know. Here, however, I'll read it to you. To calculate depreciation, we look for our purchase price. Well, our purchase price on our stoves was $60,000. They have a salvage value of $30,000. The depreciable cost is $30,000. And now we determined that its useful life was for 5 years. The cumulative cost divided by the useful life. So it's $30,000 divided by 60 months, which means these will depreciate at $500 a month. The journal entry for these is we debit depreciation expense of the stoves for $500. We credit the cumulative depreciation of the stoves also for $500. My income summary at the end of this month was $225,000 minus $66,000 for a net income of $159,000. My owner's equity started, of course, at zero because we were a startup company. And then we invested $80,000, had a net income of $159,000, and withdrew $1,000. So my ending OE was $238,000, and my balance sheet reads $348,000 equals $76,800 plus 2,071,200. Sorry, that one was kind of hard for me to say. All right, moving on. I also did the 4-step closing process, which this was not an assignment for us to do, so I won't really go over this, but hopefully you can kind of see it. Anyways, we're going to move on to month 2 because I've only got about 5 minutes left with you guys. So here we go. Here is month 2. This one is in August. I will give you a glimpse of my T accounts here. See if you can kind of see those. Maybe if I'm not trying to look at it, you guys can kind of see what's going on there. So the T accounts is a direct reflection of your chart of accounts. Anything that you have on your chart of accounts will also be made into a T account. And then here is, again, my skin and bones of my business. This is the accounting equation. So it kind of shows you an even breakdown. I didn't make any mistakes on this one, but for my first month, I actually made 2 mistakes, one of which I wasn't able to catch until well after the fact. And honestly, I didn't redo all the work because it's kind of a lot of work. All right. Now for the next one. This is our debits and credits again, which these I will be reading off to you as per our instructions. So here we go. August 1st, we debited big screen TVs for $2,100, credited cash $2,100. Second, debited sound system for $1,200, credited cash $1,200. Debited cash $90,000, credited to the dining service fees $90,000. Debit food supplies $8,000, credit AP, Tuttle Farms $8,000. Debit Sam's Butcher Shop $10,000, credited cash $10,000. Debit wages expense $10,000, credited cash $10,000. I am so sorry. I just realized I wasn't even telling you guys the dates. So those last few were the 2nd, the 3rd, the 3rd, the 3rd, the 3rd, and now we're on the 4th. Debited cash $60,000, credited M.Owen, capital $60,000. This means the owner reinvested money into the business. On the 5th, we debited cash $60,000 and credited catering service fees $60,000. 7th, debit AP, Cisco/stoves $30,000, credited cash $30,000. On here, we made the first installment payment for those stoves that we bought on account back in July. Here we go on the 10th. Debited cash $80,000, credited dining service fees $80,000. Again on the 10th, debited wages expense $12,000, credited cash $12,000. On the 13th, we debited food supplies $5,000, credited AP, Total Farms $5,000. On the 14th, debited Sam's Butcher Shop $12,000, credited cash $12,000. On the 17th, we debited wages expense $12,000, credited cash $12,000. On the 22nd, sorry guys, I kind of lost my place. 22nd, debited cash $60,000, credited catering service fees $60,000. On the 25th, we debited AP, Cisco slash stoves 30,000 and credited cash 30,000. This was the second installment payment on the stoves that we purchased on account, again, back in July. Here we go on the 26th, debited cash 80,000, credited dining service fees 80,000. On the 27th, debited wages expense 10,000, credited cash 10,000. 28th, debited Sam's Butcher Shop 12,000, credited cash 12,000. 29th, debited food supplies 8,000, credited AP, Tuttle Farms 8,000. On the 30th, we debited cash 40,000, credited dining service fees 40,000. On the 31st, debited phone expense 1,000, credited cash 1,000. Also on the 31st, we debited AP, Tuttle Farms for $21,000 and credited cash $21,000. This means that we paid off that accounts payable account for our Tuttle Farms that we owed. Okay, also on the 31st, we debit M. Owen, drawing $3,000. Credited cash $3,000. Again, this means that the owner took money out of the business for whatever the owner decided to do. That's our debits and credits, people. Here we go for the month of August, our accumulative depreciation. I'm sorry if this is like so out of focus. On here, what we did was the big screen TV and the sound system. I'm not going to give you the whole rundown again. Basically, our depreciation cost of the big screen TV is $350 a month, and the sound system is $20 a month. And then again, the 4-step closing process for the month of August. Well, everybody, I do believe that concludes everything that I had to talk to you about. Hopefully, you guys kind of get an understanding of what it is I've been going through for the whole semester. I hope you all have a wonderful day and see you later.